Hello, Michael Whitehouse, the guy who knows a guy. What you're about to watch was a live presentation that I offered on October 1st, 2024, called How Not to Get Ripped Off. And I shared it because I was tired of watching people get ripped off. I explained a bit. The recording quality in a couple places is a little shaky because of how we had to do it. Unfortunately, I had two recordings. One of them revealed some of the people in the audience that I didn't want to share, and the other was lower video quality. So I chose lower video quality, but the audio quality should be fine, and you should be able to get all the content from it. I do also share in this talk some of my offers, and I do that because I want to share how to ethically build offers and pricing. Now, if you do decide you want to work with me, I'm not going to stop you. If you get to that point and you say, I don't even want to see anything with dollar signs, it's fine. You can stop at that point. The bulk of the value is delivered before that point, so you don't have to watch it. But if you are interested, by all means, feel free to take a look at that. And if you want to work with me, reach out. I do my contact information down below as well, so I'd love to connect if you have any questions, thoughts, or anything else. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. I mean, this isn't really that kind of thing, but I hope you learn a lot from it. And my mission is that you can avoid being parted from your money by those who do not have your best interests at heart. Why did I come up with this topic? Why am I talking about how not to get ripped off? Well, it is because I've been hearing more and more stories lately about people getting ripped off. I'm not hearing a lot of things that are new, although I'm hearing a bit more detail. And it's sort of, this has been one of those things that's bugging me for some time. And I kind of go back and forth on how much energy I want to put to trying to help people. And then a story was shared with me directly and hands-on, and I got to talk to the person who got ripped off and the coach who ripped them off, and discovered that the coach was also a victim. And I said, all right, this is a bigger thing because it's systematic. It's not just there's some bad apples out there, it's there's some, what I'm referring to as gurus out there who are teaching coaches to do this stuff. So it's actually self-propagating. And so I wanted to share some of the things to watch out for. I've got a couple things that I sort of have planned to talk about, and from there I'm just kind of going to riff and see where it goes. But mostly I just want to share what I know, because I have seen many of the ways people have been ripped off. A lot of times it is simply a matter of you're being sold the dream. You're in business, you're often alone, don't know who to turn to, and they say, hey, do this and I will make all of your dreams come true. And you're like, I want my dreams to come true. It's only ridiculous amount of money. Okay, here's my money. And then it turns out to be crap. Sometimes it's actually not crap. Sometimes it's a good program, but the wrong one. They have a course on something that's legitimate, and you say, hey, will that course help me with this? And they say, like, yeah, sure, yeah, take it. And maybe, I don't know, who knows? Try it, find out. So, and sometimes it's just crap and they can't actually deliver it. So let's start with, first thing I want to talk to you about is the power of walking away. So oftentimes we make our worst decisions because someone puts pressure on us. You'll miss out, fear of missing out if you don't do this right now. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, this guy's so successful and has so much money, and I wish I could be like them and whatever. I have in 4 years never once come across a once in a lifetime opportunity in terms of knowledge. I've seen limited time opportunities in terms of investment, things like that. But if it's a matter of this person's going to share their knowledge, this is the only time they're going to do it and the only way you're going to get that opportunity, there's almost always another chance. You can almost always have another chance to get this. So don't fall for that. If they are telling you that you must do it now, that's a red flag. Count that against them. If they are telling you that this is an amazing opportunity and the price may go up, but it doesn't matter if you're not going to buy it anyway. And trust your instincts. If something feels off, probably is. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to miss out. It's like a bus stop. Another one's coming every 5 minutes. So whatever someone's offering, if you can't take the time to think about it, walk. It's probably not that good. And talk to people. So if they won't give you time to talk to people and find out, what do you know about this coach? What do you know about this program? Whatever, walk. That's a huge red flag. But beyond that, you got me as a resource. So if you're looking at doing something, you can always reach out to me, shoot me an email, text message. Can't guarantee I'll get back to you right away. But if they can't wait long enough for me to get back to you, then walk away, because what's the hurry? Are they, they taking off for the moon tomorrow? So, don't get sucked into those pressure tactics. And also, I do have a PDF that I'll send out to everyone who registered for this, which is a series of questions to ask yourself if you are. Am I showing my screen here? Yeah. A series of questions to ask yourself if you are in that sales process. Let me see if I have that handy here. Thought I had it open, but I may not have it open anymore. Okay, I'll send it out to everyone afterwards so that you'll all have access to it. But it's basically a series of questions to ask yourself so you can, know, should I go ahead with this? And part of what it does, it breaks the spell, because what they're going to do when they're selling you, and this is what you should be doing when you're selling too, you get them going, you get them in the vibe. When I was selling cars, get them on the test drive, because then they're picturing owning the car, their hands are on the wheel, they're hearing the purr of the engine. And when you're the buyer, you want to break that spell and get back to your rational mind. So that's why I created those questions. So, so when evaluating a coaching offer, there's 6 things you want to be thinking about. 6 questions. First off, identify the problem. What specific issue does this claim to address? And is it relevant to you? So what are they going to solve? I fell into this trap once. I met someone who seemed very successful, and I just wanted to be like her. And she offered a course on email marketing. That was not the thing I needed from her, but it's the thing she was selling, and I wanted to be like her. So I said, okay, let's go. And now that email marketing course did lead to the email program I have, and it's, long term was positive, I suppose. But I could have learned those same things in a 30-minute conversation with someone who explained the same things. So that's the thing. Identify the problem. Does it solve the problem you actually have? Now, if they're solving the right problem that you need to solve, number 2 is, can they deliver on that promise? So if the promise they have is the right promise, can they deliver on the promise that they've made? Figure 3 is, can you deliver on the promise? So is it the right problem? Can they deliver? And then, can you do what you need to do? Do you have what you need? Now, sometimes they will obscure what you will need, but are you going to do the work? Are you willing to commit as much as it will take? And if you don't know how much it will take, ask them, how much will it take? How much time? How much additional money? What additional resources? What else am I going to have to do to make this work? Because a lot of these coaches, consultants, trainers are all about, you got to do the work. It's not just about me, it's about you. Great. What are you going to need from me? What am I going to need to do? Preferably get that in writing, because that way, when they claim, well, you weren't willing to do the work, they're like, actually, you said I need to do 10 hours a week. I need to do this, this, and this. And I did those things. So give me back my damn money. Number 4, what's the best case scenario? If this works out, it solves that problem, what will you get? So a lot of the courses I've taken that were the wrong courses because I didn't do this. I was like, ooh, I want to be a speaker. So I took a speaking class on how to write a speech. And that's what the class was presented as, how to structure your speech to be effective. It was not presented as how to get on stage, how to book gigs, how to do any of that stuff. And it didn't have any of that stuff. And how to structure a speech was the only thing I didn't need. I could get on stage and just riff. I'm good. I need to get on the stage. I need to learn how to contact the speech. It was the one thing I already had was in that class, because I didn't consider that if I get exactly what this class offers, what will I then have? And that's how I came up with this question, because most of my mistakes in buying courses have been from this. If this works, what will it give you? And relatedly, do you have the problem? Is the thing they're promising to solve the problem you have? Now, often it jumps to, and then you'll be able to make money. Cool, but how? So what is the actual problem they're solving? And number 2 was, can they deliver? Number 6 is, will they deliver? My wife took a OBM, Online Business Manager certification course. And I am fairly certain the person who offers this course is quite expert in it and knows what she's doing and could absolutely deliver. But she did not deliver the course. Who delivered the course was some subordinate coaches who were basically certified in her materials, not necessarily masters of it, certainly not masters of teaching, and just kind of like reading off the slides and blah, 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 and answering questions. And while the coach had the capability, they did not actually deliver it in a way that created that value. So consider these 6 questions. And let's also talk about the coaching pyramid scheme. So this is what I affectionately referred to as coaches coaching coaches to make money by coaching coaches to make money by coaching coaches to make money by coaching coaches ... So this is where the guru teaches the coaches to sell a program to their clients in which they'll basically be selling the guru's system to their clients. And conceivably, the clients would then also sell the guru's system to their clients, except it'll never get that far down because the coaches are trying to sell a program that they're learning as they're learning it, which means it is possible that the client may move faster than the coach. And then the coach is running back to the guru saying, what's next? What's step 4? I need step 4. They're already up to step 3 and I'm on step 3. What's next? And the trap here is the guru made a whole lot of money. They're very successful. So the coach says, wow, the guru made millions of dollars. I want to make millions of dollars. Sure, I haven't made 6 figures yet, but the guru made millions, so no problem. I will just sell what they're doing. They'll teach me. I'll transmit that knowledge. Problem is, you can't be learning as you go. Well, you can. If you're selling it for $500, go for it. Sell your coach's knowledge to your clients for $500. That's fine. But if it's 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, and here is one of the common schemes, because there's a particular guru who is quite prolific in bringing on coaches that will do a risk reversal system where the price is something huge, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, but it's okay because you're only putting a quarter or an eighth down. So $25,000, but you don't put 25,000 down, you only put 6,250. Only a quarter. What an amazing deal. And then when you hit a certain target, you make $100,000 or $250,000, whatever, then you pay the next quarter. And the coach says, I am sharing the risk. See, we're both in this. Except what's easier? Getting a new client to give you $6,250 on faith, or getting your first client to $100,000 in sales, which you've never done for yourself. It's the first one. It's selling more clients. And then your guru will tell you, well, I gave you amazing techniques. You gave them to your clients. If they're not able to use them, that's their problem. Then, if you're the coach, your clients will sue you because they want their money back because they didn't get anything. And the guru gets away scot-free because if the coach tries to sue the guru will say, well, I said you'd make $100,000 and you made $100,000. Not my fault you didn't deliver and got sued. You should have treated your clients better. So yeah, it is an insidious system, and be very careful with it. Now, there are ways to do risk reversal, risk sharing, those kinds of things legitimately. I'm going to share at the end, actually, a program I'm launching, which I'm much more morally comfortable with. But that's the thing is that a typical high ticket offer is $10,000, and that's a lot of money. But by saying 6,250 is a quarter of 25,000, it doesn't sound like a lot. It's only a quarter. It's not that big a deal. No problem. We're not upset. Except it's a lot. And the program's not even worth 6,000, let alone 25,000. So that's something to very much watch out for. Red flags. Red flags to be aware of. Time pressure. Be cautious of offers that push for immediate action. Quality programs respect your decision-making process. If they say, you must make a decision now, yeah. You want an answer right now? It's no. I encourage you to adopt that as a standing policy. If you must have an answer right now, absolutely. I'm happy to give you an answer right now. It's no. If you can wait till tomorrow, I will reconsider that. But right now, no. Negativity. Avoid coaches who belittle you or predict failure without their help. You can do it on your own, but good luck. Now, again, there's a good way to do this. When I sell my Done For You Summit service, I explain you can absolutely run a summit on your own. You're going to have to do these 37 things, and you're probably going to have some growing pains the first, second, third, and fourth time you do it, because that's what happened to me. I'll be running my 58th summit for you. You'll be running your first summit for you. So if you want to jump to the end, hire me. I'll do all the work. Or do it yourself, and you'll figure it out. You're smart, but it's going to take you 3, 4, 5 tries. Be ready to have a lot of growing pains and go through a lot of bumps. So as opposed to, without a coach, you're not going to make it. It's a competitive market, and I'm already sensing some limited mindset from you. You got some money blocks you're going to have to work through. You're never going to get around those on your own. And if you don't take care of those, then you're just going to be in trouble. So you better work with me, or else. So beware of that. Beware of vagueness. I now have a standing policy that I will not promote any partner whose offer is simply build a money-sized business, build a 6-figure business, build a 7-figure business. Now, I'll promote someone who uses that as a frame of reference. I promoted someone recently, she said a 6-figure website, by which she meant, and was clear, a page that if traffic is driven to it in the right way with the right strategy could be a key tool in a 6-figure strategy. It wasn't a magical 6 figures. It was, she sold websites and funnel strategies. That's just sold, and 6 figures is a benchmark of what it could do. But beware of anyone who's just saying they will build you a 6-figure or especially 7-figure business. That's a lot of figures. 7's a lot of figures. And also beware if a coach emphasizes their wealth over client success stories. If they talk about how rich they are as opposed to how successful their clients are and how many people they've helped. And listen for how much they talk about their own money versus how much they talk about how much they like helping people. Are they mission focused, or are they in love with the sound of their own voice and their own bank statements? Couple other things that I actually put a post out today and said what else should I be looking for from my community. A few other things. One is the presentation that offers no educational value and only pitches. Watch out for that. Those are just a waste of time. And if they can't prove they know anything in the free part, there's no reason to think they're going to teach you anything useful in the paid part. Also, one phrase was I could be charging 100 times more for this program. Now, I could be charging 100 times more for the program we have tonight because it's free. But anyone who's like, I can charge 100 times more for this program, that's that kind of hyperbolic bro marketing kind of language that you might want to watch out for. Another one is all capitals in the contract. Did I put that in the next slide? Oh yeah, contract red flags. So here's some contract red flags to watch out for. No refunds. If there is an ironclad no refund policy, that's suspicious to me. Why do they need a contract that strong? Also, anyone who doesn't accept PayPal because they don't like its policies. That doesn't sound like a red flag, but it is, because PayPal's policies that coaches don't like is they have a fairly easy refund policy. If you buy something through PayPal and you go to PayPal and say, hey, I didn't like this didn't deliver value, there's a good chance PayPal will be like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me go get their money, right? They're better than American Express at getting your money back. So people who know that they're delivering value and know that their clients are going to be happy and wouldn't try to get their money back are happy to use PayPal. No big deal. They'll pay a couple refunds if they have to, but it's probably not going to happen. Those, on the other hand, actually, it's funny, the first coach I ever worked with, who did teach me some good stuff, but he was definitely in that, like, raise the price, squeeze money out of them strategy. He hated PayPal because he had a 40% refund rate. 40% of the people who worked with him wanted their money back because he didn't have a program. He just sort of asked an increasing amount of money for a sort of nebulous set of solutions. That didn't work well for him. Yeah, and so he was giving refunds, I think 40 or 50%. He's getting chargebacks as in involuntary refunds from something like 20% of the people who gave him money. So he hated PayPal for that reason. By the way, in case you're curious, I've had 2 chargebacks ever for a total of, I think it was $100. One was because there was a system glitch and it accidentally, I didn't unsubscribe someone when I should have, and they didn't contact me and say, hey, could I have my money back? They just called their credit card company. And someone else, I split payment on a $100 program, and they had 2 payments, $50. And on the second month, they forgot they'd signed up for it and called their credit card company and charged it back. Those are the only chargebacks I have ever had in 4 years of business. So I use PayPal, and I'm not afraid of it. Non-disclosure and non-disparagement. So non-disclosure is when they are legally protecting their amazing information. My content is so amazing that I need to protect it with a contract. First off, that's probably BS bluster. It's to show you how cool they are. But beyond that, it is also just a little bit shady. What they're afraid of is you're going to turn around and sell their stuff, which does happen. Remember that first coach? He took Taki Moore's program and then turned around and taught it to me. However, this would have worked well for Taki Moore if Taki Moore had a affiliate program, because I reached out to him once. I said, hey, I've learned your strategy. It's amazing. It's also not particularly proprietary, but it's amazing. And I'd love to refer people back to the master instead of just, teaching myself and, get some kind of commission for it. And he's like, oh, we don't have that. I'm like, cool. I'm just going to keep teaching your program then. But I would like to refer them to you if you just have a program. But the thing is, nothing in the industry is particularly brilliant or new. Some things are brilliant, but nothing's new. Everything anyone's teaching, someone else is already teaching. Everything anyone's teaching is in a book or a YouTube video, or it's out on a summit, and it's all out there with a couple of specific exceptions. There's some people who have like a certain 11 herbs and spices kind of thing. But for the most part, and especially in marketing, there's no secrets in marketing because you have to do them publicly. People can see you do it. So, the idea of non-disclosure, you can't share anything I'm doing, that always smacks of arrogance to me. But the bigger one to watch out for is non-disparagement. This is where you're contractually obligated not to say anything bad about them, which means you can't post a negative review. You can't tell people in your network. You can't even tell the person who referred you to them that they were bad. I would suggest that you never, ever, ever sign a non-disparagement clause for anyone you are giving money to. If you're hiring them, they need a non-disparagement clause, walk. No matter what they're offering, walk away. Because why would they have a non-disparagement clause if they weren't pissing off a lot of people and trying to keep it secret? And the last one, and I had never heard of this until today, but I heard this from an attorney, all caps. People actually put that in legal contracts. They will yell at you in capital letters in the contract. That's a red flag. Now, is it a walk away red flag? No, they could just not really know how to be polite, but it's a red flag to watch out for. Be somewhat suspicious if, it looks like an angry man who yells at the clouds wrote this contract and is putting all in caps. So these are some things to watch out for. Green flags. So not all bad. It's good. One of the issues that I'm realizing is the best way to protect people from the shady folks out there is to solve the problem you have that you're going to the shady folks for. So it's not just avoid the bad people, it's find the good people. Because otherwise the bad people will just keep taking swings until they finally get a hit. So 1, personal recommendations. Seek testimonials from actual clients. Or I will also add, trusted connectors. So there are people out there who feel really strongly about this, like I do. So I'm one of them. If you're thinking about working with someone, reach out to me. I may not be able to get on a call necessarily But you can certainly always send me a text message, email, whatever. Hey, I'm thinking about working with Joe Schmo. What do you know about them? And I can at least tell you, one, they're on my bad guy list. Walk away. Or with a lot of people, it's they know good stuff, but what are you looking to work with them on? And because they're really good at this and they're really bad at that, but they'll sell that. So, especially a lot of marketing people, they are domain experts. They try to sell as generalists. So you need Facebook ads? Yeah, absolutely hire them. What are you looking to do? Oh, I'm looking to do organic content. Well, they are not an expert in that. Do not hire them. They're the wrong person. So, you can reach out to me. There's a lot of other people, great connectors out there. I do have a bad guy list. It is a secret bad guy list. If you ask me a name, I'll tell you if someone's on it for legal reasons. Because if I publish a bad guy list, that's a good way to get sued right away. Because I would then have to prove and justify why they're bad guys. And usually it's I've heard something from someone who I trust enough to put them on the list. And thus I will tell you what I know about them if they're on the bad guy list. So, yeah, that's the thing to watch out for there. But, ask around. And I would go so far as you're thinking about working with someone, there's no reason to keep it secret. This is business. Now, if you're talking about like, I don't know, a trauma coach or something like that, yeah, you might not want to post on Facebook, hey, I'm looking to work with Susie Q. She's great with trauma like I have. If you don't want to share that, yeah, you might not do that. But if you're talking about a marketing coach, a business growth coach, whatever, there's no shame in saying, hey, I'm looking to work with Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo seems like a good sales coach. Does anyone know about him? And has anyone worked with him? And notice I did specifically mention clients because their affiliate partners will always say good things about them because they're promoting them and getting paid for it. And it could simply because they don't know. They've never been a client. That's what happened with this particular online business management certification. We got a bunch of people like, it's great. It's a great program. Nobody had worked with them because the kind of six-figure entrepreneurs who are recommending her aren't online business managers. They hire OBMs, but they wouldn't take that class themselves. So they have no idea just how mediocre the quality was because they hadn't done it. They weren't clients. Demonstrated knowledge. Look for ways they've proven they know something. Right? Do they have content on Facebook, on blogs? Do they have an ebook they share that shares a lot of their knowledge? When they do a webinar, do they actually teach something on it that shows their style? Or do they do those, shady, not quite teaching webinars where it's moving the shells around and being like, but wait, I'm about to tell you. Oh, no, not yet. No, but wait, I'm going to, oh, but not yet. But now give me $100 and I'll tell you. Ooh. Watch out for those. Make sure they're actually sharing what they know so they know this stuff. And transparency. They should be clear with questions. They should be very open and honest. They should be telling stories. If they tell stories about their clients, it shouldn't simply be, I worked with Mark, and before I worked with him, he was making very little money. And then he worked with me, and now he's making a lot of money. Yay! Well, there's a miracle happened here in the middle of that story. So the story should be informative as well as self-congratulatory. The story shouldn't simply be, check out how awesome I am. The story should be, I worked with Susie and I helped her to use a direct strategy of reaching out to everyone on social media she knew to invite them to her email list. And now she has a 200-person email list. And from that story, you can hear, oh, he got her a 200-person email list. But you can also say, I could reach out to everyone I know on social media and help them get an email and build my email list that way. That's a good idea. And you could run with it. Or you could say, that sounds great. I wish I knew how. I bet Michael could help me. But they should be willing to share what they do, what they're good at, what they're not good at, and how they do it. What is the process? If you ask them, like, how is your program delivered? They shouldn't just say, oh, we work with you. We lock arms. Right, but do we lock arms an hour a week on Zoom? Do we lock arms over text? Do we lock arms through videos? How are we locking arms here? What are we talking about specifically? And then a few other things to think about is to assess your needs. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? And who can help you? And why this coach? Is this the best method for your needs? Something else? Budget. What can you afford? And is there a cheaper way to do this? And commitments, time commitment. And that's pretty much the summary we already have. So I'm going to stop sharing. So, full screen here. So, those are kind of the basic concepts to consider. And one thing to keep in mind is there is training in the market, and give me a show of hands if you've heard this after I say it, that say you should just raise your price first and then figure out any of the strategies. Has everyone ever heard that? Raise your price first? Whatever your price is, just double it right now. Anyone ever heard that? Okay. Now consider that the people you're buying from are in the same market you are and are getting the same advice you are. This means they may have taken that advice and doubled their price before they increased anything in their program. What else does that mean? That means that whatever they're teaching you, you can get cheaper from someone who hasn't doubled their price yet, or from someone who realized they shouldn't just raise their price for the sake of raising their price, because I don't think that's cool. Now, there is some principle of raise your price to get to a different bracket, to a different market. The kind of people who will hire you for $1,000 are different than the kind of people who hire you for $10,000. I do absolutely believe that a mastermind can be measured by its price. So a $5,000 a year mastermind is a mastermind where you pay $5,000 a year to get into a room with other people who paid $5,000 a year. So I am all for the principle of pay increasing amounts of money to get in rooms with increasingly better people. That's a good principle. But if it's you're going to be working with me one-on-one and my price was $3,000 last year, but now it's $8,000, what changed? What did I learn in the last 12 months? How am I different than I was before? Now, it could be I worked with 8 clients and I have proven results from all 8 of them. I'm batting 1,000, so I raise my prices. Okay. Well, you should be able to justify that and be able to prove it. But a lot of people are just raising their prices straight out of the gate because they've been told, oh yeah, you need to be charging 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. You need to, don't charge 2,500 for your retreat, charge 10,000 for your retreat, and add some stuff that makes it better somehow. Don't worry about the stuff. Just raise your prices. That's the important thing. They'll pay. Someone out there will pay, which kind of sounds like a sucker's born every minute to me, which I'm not really comfortable with. So what that means is that whatever, and know the difference between needing tools and needing solutions. So you may need a tool. I need to build an email list. How can I build an email list? Versus I need more marketing. I need someone to hold my hand and walk me down the street to build my marketing system. Tools should be cheap. Solutions may be expensive because they're intensive. So, for example, I'm going to be running a program starting very soon. You're the first people to hear about it. $300, an email list building sprint. I'm going to teach 5 different strategies to build an email list if you don't already have an email list. So, and it's going to be a sprint in 25 days working together, but it's basically, I'm giving you a tool. That's why it's $300. It's not a life-changing thing. It's here's a tool, come with me. Here's some knowledge, whether you do it or not. $300 for knowledge is a pretty reasonable price. It's not going to, put you out on the street if it doesn't work. And if it does work, it'll be a big win. On the other hand, my higher ticket coaching program, I'm doing as a percentage of the revenues generated, because if I can generate you $100,000, I deserve $10,000. I think that's pretty good. And if I can't, I don't, because in there I'm selling solutions and not simply education information, something like that. And then I'm going to share with you a story that my friend Sylvain Aché shared, which is very, totally emblematic of this and hilarious in a sad way. And then I'm going to share with you my offer stack. 1, because you might want to work with me. And 2, because there's some instruction in it for things to watch out for, and I feel like my ethics reflect in how I've structured it. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But yeah, so the story was that there's a classified ad in the newspaper, and it says, send $50 to this address and learn how to make $200 a day in 7 days or less. So you respond to the ad, you send them $50, and you get a letter. And the letter says, put a classified ad in the newspaper saying, send $50 to your address to learn how to make $200 a day in 7 days or less. And when people answer, tell them to put a classified ad in the newspaper saying, send $50 to your address and learn how to make $200 a day in 7 days or less. That is a true story. That is actually something they did. That is the simplified version of the coaching coaches to make money, coaching coaches to make money, coaching coaches. So sounds like a joke, and yet it's actually true. And there's Facebook ads that basically do the exact same thing. That, and it is technically not a scam because they are teaching you how to make money. They are technically delivering on the promise, except that nothing actually gets sold at the end of it, and it's simply it's simply running in a circle. So I am going to now introduce you to the stack of offers I have because, as I said, one, you may want to hire me for something, but the primary purpose, if you don't want to hire me, you're going to see if you know anything about sales. I'm not selling you this stuff. I'm showing you this stuff. You are then welcome to buy it if you want. But I'm doing it because there's the way I structured it. A lot of this comes from some of the things that bothered me in the industry. And I finally realized for the longest time, I couldn't build a high ticket offer. I'm like, why don't I have a high ticket offer? What's wrong with me? Oh, ethics. That's why I can't do it, because I have zero tolerance for the idea that someone will give me substantial money and not get results. Now, small amounts, you buy a $50 course from me and you watch it and you're like, that was stupid. Okay, well, you're probably not starving. Or that was interesting, but not what I needed. 50, 100, 300, even 500, not life-changing money. I've taken $500 courses, didn't really deliver. But once you're getting up to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, like that could be the rent, multiple months of rent. That could be credit card debt you're going to have for years. Damn well better deliver to 100% of the people. So I'm going to go from the top down. So my largest program is Networking Concierge. That is, I charge $1,000 a month or 5% of revenues, whichever is higher. And what I do with this, I introduce my clients to partners who they can get promoted by. So this is only people who already have proven programs, who already have affiliate and collaborative programs for those partnerships. I do also now include coaching with it. Originally, I didn't, because my clients were 6- and 7-figure businesses, and I said, what can I teach them but making deals? I discovered apparently a lot, because I had 11 people in this, 11 different clients in this program, and 10 of them, I introduced them to the exact people they told me they needed to meet, and they could not close deals with them because collaborations is a very complex space. And you put 10 people who are doing JVs and collaborations in a room, and they're doing them 6 different ways, and they have no idea what the other people are doing. So I now offer coaching with this and actually work with them to make sure those deals get closed and the value gets created, which is part of why there's that 5% of revenues, because I need skin in the game to get benefit from what they do, which is why I want to work with them. The other program I have is the mentorship. And this is the one that I developed around the challenge of, I know a bunch of stuff. For example, one of these coaches that was charging 6,000 and change, I talked to, and then explained to her how the strategy she was teaching worked. And that was kind of a pivotal moment where I said, why are you getting that money and I'm not? And yet, I don't know if that strategy would get someone to make the money. I just know how the strategy generates the leads, and then there's 6 more steps till that turns into money. So I said, well, what if I did it this way? Charge $1,000 up front with a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. And in that first 30 days, I will teach, well, first find out what the client needs, and then teach them everything I know, make connections, whatever, to figure out what the strategy is going to be. And then from then on, they pay $200 per month or 10% of the revenue that's generated that I help them generate on the honor system. So if they say, well, yeah, the bank says 5,000, but it cost me 2,000 to deliver, it's 3, whatever they say. With a minimum of 200, because some people might just kind of coast. And if they coast, they need to have a reason to either leave or to justify my time. But it is based on the idea of, it doesn't matter if I promise $100,000. If I deliver it, I get paid for it. And if I don't deliver it, I don't get paid for it. And that's something I'm much more comfortable with than just give me your money and, sounds like you've got limiting beliefs. That's why my total bullshit strategy didn't work, not because my strategy is total bullshit. So if it doesn't work, I don't get paid. Well, I get paid $200 a month, which is, I think a perfectly reasonable price for my company because I'm awesome. But That's about as much as it's worth without the results. And if someone is interested in that, I did put the link down there. It's guywhoknowsaguy.com/mentorship. And this is designed for people at the entry level of business. And I did the unconditional money back guarantee. The one catch of that is you do have to book a call with me, and we have to have a conversation. But no matter how that conversation goes, if you still want your money back, you can have it. But and honestly, the reason for that is that I'm not afraid that I'm going to have to give everyone the money back, because I work with good, honest people, and good, honest people don't, get a bunch of value and then ask for money back. And sometimes good, honest people are desperate and really need their money, and then they still won't do it if they have to get on a call and look someone in the eye and ask for their money back. So that's kind of the concept there. But it's also partly for the point of, I want to be able to tell some of these scumbags I talk to, oh, I have an unconditional money back guarantee. Weirdo, you have all those conditions on yours. So that's that. And then at the entry level, we have the Opportunity Growth Circle. I know a bunch of stuff. Every Wednesday I teach some of it. I also have a lot of awesome people on my stages, and I have recordings. So every week I do a training. They get access to all of the summit recordings, as well as JV Connect, which is my monthly networking event, quarterly networking event, which is $40 a month. And then the step above that is for $100 a month. Everything I just said, plus a weekly group coaching mastermind, where they can come in with any question, any challenge that they have, and I will share whatever's in my head at the time. The difference between that and the real coaching is that I don't really think about them between the weeks. They come in, ask me anything, I share whatever I've got during that hour, and then we're done. Versus the one where it's a percentage, is I'm actually working with them ongoing, calls, texts, the whole thing. So, and those are the 4 things that I offer. But I really built this. The 2 larger ones are both built on results. And they're designed to be not a harmful amount of money below the result point. So that's why they are structured the way they are, and I'm very comfortable with them in a way that I'm not comfortable with asking for $6,000 up front and then more when we get results. Because there's a few things. I mean, if I'm going to run a summit, it's $2,500 up front, because I'm going to deliver with a guarantee on that. If I don't generate 125 registrations. Thank you for taking the time to watch this replay of the presentation. Again, I am Michael Whitehouse, the guy who knows a guy. You can reach me at michael@guywhoknowsaguy.com. That information is down in the description as well. And if you encounter anyone who is one of these bad guys I talk about, I want to know about it. Please send me an email. Let me know what happened, just so I know not to recommend people. Because people do often come to me and say, hey, Michael, you're the guy who knows a guy. What do you know about this person? So the more that I know about the bad actors out there, the more I can warn people off. Also, if you know good guys, let me know. I want to hear about that too. So please do reach out and share with me your experiences. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you will join my world and I can be of service to you.